Hello and welcome to Fox Comics and Games in beautiful downtown Marion, Illinois, where we are unpacking this week's comic order. These comics go on sale Wednesday, January 24th at 10 a.m. They'll be on the shelf ready to go. And we start this week with DC's Superman in Action, and that's issue 996, only 4 away from the big 1000. And that's the standard cover. And there's a peek at this week's variant. I thought I would give you a peek at some of the variants this week. So people seem to really like that. Next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man, issue 794. And I believe that's starting the Threat Level Red run. Next up, also from Marvel, will be issue 677 of Avengers. And that is subtitled No Surrender. So that sounds pretty cool. Next up from DC is issue 19 of Batgirl. And it looks like she's with Penguin. And there's the variant cover on that to kind of give you an idea of what those look like. Also from DC, up next is Batman Beyond, issue 16. And one of the better variant covers, in fact it's in the running for this week's best cover, is this Batman Beyond variant. Very, very good. Next up after that is Dynamite Publishing's Betty Page comic. That is issue 7. And to give you an idea, do they do variants as well? Yes, they do. And there's the beautiful Betty Page on a couch looking all demure. Next up from Marvel is Black Panther, issue 169. With a pretty good looking cover as well. That was in the running for this week's best cover. Next up from Image Publishing, a great title, Black Science by Rick Remender. It's a phenomenal book. If you're not getting it, you should. Get in here and buy it. You will enjoy it. Next up from DC is Blue Beetle, issue 17. And also from DC is The Demon, Hell is Earth. That's issue 3. Also from DC, Batman Detective Comics, issue 973. And also from DC is Doom Patrol, and that is issue 10 with a cat cover. That's pretty cool. Next up from DC also is Doomsday Clock, and that is issue 3. To give you an idea of how good that is, that's one of the few comics that we order over 100 of. So that'll tell you how well Doomsday Clock is selling. We get over 100 of those every issue. Next up from DC is The Flash, part 1 of The Perfect Storm. This is issue 39. And there is the Flash variant cover for issue 39, and that is celebrating 700 issues of The Flash. Next up from Image is Gasolina, issue 5. And then from Boom Publishing, we have Go-Go Power Rangers. DC brings us Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, issue 37. And I'll just scoot those over. Also from DC, next up is Hellblazer, issue 18. Remember, kids, smoking's bad for you unless you're already dying. Next up from Marvel is Inhumans, Judgment Day, and that is Inhumans #1, Judgment Day. Comes out tomorrow. And then from Oni Press, we have Invader Zim, issue 27. After that, we have DC's Justice League of America, issue 23. Next up from Marvel, we have Legion #1. Also in the running for best cover of the week is Marvel's Luke Cage, issue 169. I'm calling that Drill to the Eye. After that, we have from Image Publishing, issue 4 of Maestros. Very rich artwork, very nice looking book. Marvel is next with Marvel Studios presents Avengers Infinity War. This is the movie prelude, and that is book 1 of 2. There will be another one, I think, in a week or two. But that is the Infinity Wars prelude book. That's what happens before the movie. Next up, from Image, a very wildly popular title here at Fox's, Monstrous. A lot of people are going to be excited to see that, and that is issue 13. Next up, from Valiant Publishing, is Ninja K, or Ninjak as we call it, issue 3. And this is the pre-order variant, and make sure you're going to a store where they get those. Those covers are different than the regular ones, and they're a little bit more collectible. Next up, from Marvel, is Phoenix Resurrection, The Return of Jean Grey, and that is issue 4. And this seems to be getting more and more popular the longer it's out. And then a new one from DC, Raven, Daughter of Darkness, number 1, comes out tomorrow. As does Image Comics, Redneck, number 9. Kind of fits with Southern Illinois a little bit. How about from Image Publishing, Regression, issue 6. Gorgeous cover on that one. And then Matt Fraction, an Image title as well, issue 21 of Sex Criminals by Matt Fraction. That's a very interesting read if you've never read some Matt Fraction. It's a good title to get into. Dynamite Publishing brings us issue 6 of The Shadow. Dark Horse Publishing is up next with Sherlock Frankenstein and the Legion of Evil. This is a tie-in to the Black Hammer series that Jeff Lemire did for them, and it's been very popular as well. Next up from IDW is Star Trek Discovery, issue 2, and that is a gorgeous looking cover on it. From Marvel, next up we have Star Wars Poe Dameron, issue 23. So if you enjoy the Star Wars series or you like Poe Dameron, either one, that's a great title for you. Next up from DC is The Suicide Squad, issue 34, and this is The Chosen One. Also from DC, we have Teen Titans, issue 16, and that is titled Target Starfire, and you can see Starfire right there on the front cover. Next up from Marvel is Thanos, issue 15. Really a great cover on that as well. Dark Horse brings us a title, number 1 launches tomorrow, called Vinegar Teeth. And I think I took her to prom, but that's a whole other story. Next up from DC is The Wildstorm, a nice Warren Ellis run, and that is issue 11 of that. If you haven't been getting into that, you should. What are you waiting for? Also from DC is issue 39 of Wonder Woman. Obviously, Mr. Fox is one of his favorites. And this is to give you an idea of how gorgeous her variant covers are. Really beautiful, really well done. Next up from Marvel, we have X-Men Blue, issue 20. And because Marvel loves their customers so much, also X-Men Blue Annual number 1 comes out tomorrow, because that's how they show they care. And then next up from Valiant Publishing, we have Exo-Man of War issue 11, but it's the start of a new arc, so if you haven't jumped on, it's a great place to jump on. That's a Matt Kent title for them. And to give you an idea of what a good store is, that's the pre-order cover. That'll show you how different the covers are. But if you pre-order it from Valiant, you'll get covers that look like that. Very nice to get. Also, there's some Here's Negan hardcover books also arrived, some restocks on that, and some Saga pins. So if you get a chance, come and see us on Wednesday, January 24th at Fox Comics and Games in beautiful downtown Marion, Illinois.